Okay, so I have this video that I have been trying to record for far too long, and it is not working. I keep losing my train of thought, and it's making for a very awful recording experience. So, a little bit of a backstory. A few weeks ago, I uploaded a video, and I don't even think anyone ended up seeing it before I took it down. But I did take it down. Well, no, I know a few people saw it. I did take it down because upon further reflection and talking about it with a friend, I realized it wasn't sending the message that I wanted it to send. In fact, it was sending a different message, and I decided to take it down, and that I would discuss the issue again in a new video in a better way, which is what I've been trying to do. I think because this topic is something really important to me, it's something that I feel very, very strongly about, and it's been coming up a lot in my life recently, that I want to do it justice. And in wanting to do it justice, I feel like I'm just trying too hard. So I'm going to do this. I am about 15 minutes from home. I'm on my way home from my daughter's swim class, and I'm going to just record what happens, what I record, what I say, how I say it is going up. I'm not going to try again. If this one is a flop, you guys are just going to have to live with a floppy video. That happens sometimes. So, what is this content that means so much to me? There's a quote. I learned this quote. I was told this quote. I was introduced to this quote as a junior in high school. And it's an Eleanor Roosevelt quote. And she said, no one can make you feel inferior without your consent. Implying that we as individuals have more of a control over our emotional well-being and our emotional state than maybe we like to admit. And when I talk about this quote, I also really like to pair with it in conversation. I don't remember where this quote came from or who said it originally, but it's along the lines of life is 10% what actually happens to you and 90% how you respond to that. And if you hear my kids screaming at me in the back, that's just going to be what it is. So, like I said, this issue has been coming up a lot in my life lately. It started several months ago. She just threw her juice box from the back seat up here at me and almost hit me. Damn, she's going to be playing softball. Several months ago, when I was reaching my goal weight, my weight loss goal, I realized that my relationship with other people was changing, that I no longer felt like an outsider, I no longer felt awkward, I no longer felt like maybe people were constantly judging me or talking about me. I had this really great epiphany, this fantastic aha moment, when I realized that maybe these people were not all thinking terrible things about me. Maybe people were not judging me this way. Maybe I was putting that out there and projecting it, and then allowing myself to feel negatively about myself, about the situation, simply because of what I was putting out there. I was giving power to a situation that didn't exist. And that was kind of my first moment where I really realized, damn, son, you need to focus, you need to regroup. Mama. The sun is setting, so I'm really sorry y'all get this blinding light. So fast forward to more recently, there's a person that I know who has recently come under attack. And I say attack, and I really legitimately mean that. I'm not diving into details for that. This person has recently come under attack, and it's a very difficult situation to navigate because, again, we live in a society where a lot of people are doing bad things to other people, and we tend to want to believe the people making the claims that so-and-so... What, child? Baby girl, I can't help you when I'm driving. We want to believe when someone says they were somehow attacked or abused or hurt or mistreated or whatever. We always want to believe that person and not accuse them of lying. You know, this isn't about victim blaming. But on the same hand, because of that, when someone does make false accusations, it becomes a problem. And in this particular situation, these accusations, it's not that they're false accusations. It's that they are several someone's, they are someone's internal response and reaction to a situation. So if an interaction between two people occurs, the first person can respond to, react to, and interpret and understand that situation as being totally normal and not in any way negative, but for whatever reason the other person can reflect on that and interpret the person's behavior towards them as harmful. And that's where these sorts of things come into play. When I say no one can make you feel inferior without your consent, if you feel that someone is treating you poorly, if someone is emotionally hurting you, yes, maybe it's because that is their intent. Maybe they want to hurt you emotionally, and if that's the case, they are an awful human being, hands down. But, and this is where, you know, people are gonna want to fight with me and disagree with me, and that's fine. This is my opinion, you guys. It's really time to think about, who are you giving the power over your emotions to? They are your emotions. If you don't want to feel bullied, then don't feel bullied. If you don't want to feel upset about something, then don't. If you are interpreting something as bullying, if you are interpreting something as harmful towards you, remember that could be your interpretation of it. And while your feelings and your emotions are absolutely valid, it's important to accept responsibility and say, these are my feelings. If there's a group event and I choose not to go, and then later on I feel like I'm left out of some cool kids club, it's not that these people were attempting to ostracize me. It's I ostracized myself. If I feel left out, it's because I am letting myself feel left out. I am allowing myself to feel negatively over a situation that I had control over. And I think it's really easy nowadays to just not accept responsibility for ourselves and to just give up our control. I don't know why, but it's a lot easier to blame people for our own feelings, when in reality, if we just took a little bit more responsibility for our own lives, then probably there'd be a lot fewer problems. So again, it's not about telling people who are claiming to be victims of certain things. And again, I know people are going to come at me and they are going to be super upset about what I'm saying, and that's fine. I'm changing lanes. But I look at it this way. And again, I have to understand this is my life. This is how I exist and how I have interpreted my life situations. But as someone who was sexually abused as a child, I later in life was given a choice. How do I want I want to be, and how do I want to let these experiences define me or affect me? And by all means, I don't run around and act like I was never abused. That's a part of my life. That's a part of who I am. But I did have the choice as to how I was going to be as a person because of that. I could have played helpless victim, and I could, manipulate situations and people so that I can just not deal with it. I could allow myself to stew in that negativity and that hurt and that pain and those memories. But why? If I have the power over my emotions and I have the ability to choose how I want to respond to an event, how I want to react to a situation, if I have the power to be in control of my emotions, to be in control, instead of being afraid, instead of being angry, I choose to be strong. I choose to be positive. I choose to look at life the way that I look at life. And it's nice to be in the shadow of a semi, so I'm not blind and y'all ain't blinded by my face. So I guess really what I want to say, what I want to get across is thinking about when we're faced, 1 second, daughter, when we're faced with animosity, when we're faced with a situation where we feel attacked by someone, usually a mentally or emotionally attack, now again, not physical attack, we have the ability to decide how we want to interpret that experience. Are we going to be objective and put ourselves in the other person's shoes to maybe see if our response is internal? We are coming at this response with our whole life behind us, and maybe based on the experiences we've had in the past, we are going to naturally interpret something as being against us, as being harmful towards us. But if we want to be responsible human beings and good people, before we lash out, we would be able to be critical of ourselves and say, is this really what's happening here? Is this really what's going on? And how do I want to go forward from this? What do I want to do about this? And I think we need a lot more of that. I think we really need to take control of our emotions. I think we really need to be in power of ourselves and not hand that power over to somebody else. Every time you let someone make you feel badly, you are giving them power over you and over your life. And what is that? I mean, don't. I mean, there really is no better way to say that than just don't. They don't deserve to have power over you. They don't deserve to be in control of you, so just don't give them that. Don't give them that satisfaction. Don't let them win. Don't let them have power over you. So, again, that being said, final note. Hold on. On that final note, all I want to say, guys, is open your minds, open your eyes, open your hearts, and try empathy. Try self-reflection. And most importantly, remember, no one can make you feel inferior without your consent. Got it? All right. I love you guys. And I'm glad I finally got this video out. And I'll see you soon. Mwah.